Mr. Daly and Dr. Dash, I'll be introducing you. And in this, before we break out the session, and then you'll be taking care of the breakout session. You'll be introducing and facilitating. Then we will come back for the plenary session after all the three speakers have spoken, and the panel of our panel discussion will be during the plenary. Thank you, Mr. Daly and Dr. Dash.
Okay.
Okay. So it's a minute past the hour of 10 o'clock Vietnam time. We welcome everyone to this third and final technical session on digital transformation and smart cities. This is another 2-hour session. However, there are 2 parallel breakout sessions which will be moderated by 2 of our distinguished members of our resource persons. There are 3 speakers for each session, and the moderator will be introducing these speakers and will be facilitating also in the respective breakout sessions. So let me now welcome you all to this third and final technical session of the first AITAA Global Symposium. And I would like to introduce the moderator for the first parallel session. Matthew Daly. He is a faculty member in the Department of Information and Communication Technologies at the School of Environment Technology, Asian Institute of Technology, as well as the director of the AIT Artificial Intelligence Center. His expertise is in the nexus of computer science, data science, software engineering, and cognitive science. He teaches a variety of advanced courses at the AIT's degree programs in data science and artificial intelligence and in computer science. His research focuses on applications of machine learning and deep learning to problems in computer vision, robotics, and data analytics. He is especially interested in video analytics and mobile robot perception. He is a co-founder of the AIT AI Center, whose mission is to translate technological advances in artificial intelligence into practical solutions to problems faced in the Asian region. The center emphasizes work with other AIT experts on projects with social impact in diverse areas, including agriculture, environment, transportation, natural resources, energy, and health. He will moderate and facilitate breakout session number 3A. The second moderator who will lead the discussion on breakout session 3 is Dr. Hitesh Dash. He heads the Systems Research and Development Division at RINES. He has developed and supervised planning, design, and development of several solutions and processes that meet early warning and domain-specific user needs effectively and efficiently. He also leads the implementation of the impact-based forecasting, data mining and analytics, and prioritizes mainstreaming and application of weather and climate information in decision-making for critical sectors like agriculture, water resources, disaster management. Hitesh has more than 15 years of combined operational experience in the DSS development and community-level capacity development of end users in the RINES member states in using these tools. He has professional experience in more than 15 countries, including Africa, Asia, and the Pacific. Hitesh holds a doctoral degree in engineering in disaster preparedness, mitigation, and management, and a master's degree in engineering major in information and communication technologies from Asian Institute of Technology. Again, he will lead discussion on breakout session 3B. We would request all participants to now choose their breakout session. And after that, all the speakers have spoken in the session will be invited back to the main session for our plenary discussion. We may now request Professor Daly and Professor Dash to proceed and lead the discussions in the breakout session. Thank you and see you later in the plenary.
I guess we may be nearly ready to start. So I'd like to introduce our first speaker, okay? So Dr. Nguyen Van Hop is currently the Dean of the School of Industrial Engineering and Management at the Ho Chi Minh City International University. Dr. Hop does research in fuzzy stochastic optimization, supply chain and e-supply chain problems, manufacturing systems optimization. Dr. Hop has 46 refereed publications in leading journals and conferences such as IEEE Transactions on SMC, Information Sciences, European Journal of Operations Research, International Journal of Production Economics, International Journal of Production Research, Computers and Industrial Engineering, Production Planning and Control, and so on. So he also serves as a reviewer for many leading journals such as the International Journal of Production Research, Computers and Industrial Engineering, the Journal of Intelligent and Fuzzy Systems, the International Journal of Production Economics, and more. So recently he was offered the Outstanding Professor Award from the Industrial Engineering and Operations Management Society International just this year. Besides, Dr. Hop has been working for a long time in industry. He served on various multinational companies in Vietnam at different senior positions, such as project manager, supply chain director, general director, and country director. So I think we're really privileged to have a chance to listen to Dr. Hop's presentation. And so I would like to give all the best, and let's hear his presentation. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's very nice to see you today. My name is Nguyen Van Hop. I graduated from ISC program in 1996 for master degrees and April 2000 for doctoral degrees. Currently, I work for International University of Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Today, I would like to present to you a topic of supply chain resilience in a post-COVID pandemic era, a case study of Ho Chi Minh City. My presentation includes 4 parts. The first part, I introduce to you the situation of COVID pandemic in Vietnam and Ho Chi Minh City. Then I focus on retelling supply chains in Ho Chi Minh City during COVID pandemic. Then I propose some solution for resilience of retelling supply chain in Ho Chi Minh City. Finally, some conclusion and recommendation are summarized by the end. First of all, as you know that COVID pandemics have been happened worldwide about 2 years. It's give very negative impact, not only for Vietnam, but also for every country in the world. In Ho Chi Minh City, it's not special case. We have been suffer very seriously. In overall, COVID pandemics officially announced by WHO in January 30 in 2020. So far in the world, we have around 100 million people have been infected, and there are more than 5 million people have been dead. In Vietnam, in the first periods, first years, we control quite well. We have only less than 3,000 people have been infected and 35 fatalities in the first 3 waves of COVID-19. But For the last wave of COVID pandemic, dominated by Delta variants, it started in 27 of April 2021. It seriously affected our countries and Ho Chi Minh City also. The total number of infected people so far is more than 1 million, and we have more than 20,000 people have been dead so far. To have a general picture of how serious it is in Ho Chi Minh City, I would like to introduce to you short video clips here. Let's see.
Business hub Ho Chi Minh City will take drastic action to suppress COVID-19 spike. From Monday, people will be ordered not to leave their homes. The military will be deployed to deliver food and essential services instead. CNA's Chung Lo has more.
This was a parking lot, now a field hospital. Here, about 40 patients are fighting for their lives. This is a part of field hospital number 10 in Ho Chi Minh City. With thousands of new COVID-19 patients a day, there's not enough beds and medical care in the city. Vietnam's biggest COVID-19 outbreak has overwhelmed the city's health system. But these patients are among the fortunate ones. Many others are unable to access the medical support they need. Across the city, the epicenter of Vietnam's COVID-19 outbreaks, help has arrived too late for many. As the death toll rises, cremation homes in this city are overwhelmed with surging demand.
Okay, in detail, look on this picture. The last pandemic wave start by the end of May. It goes to the top at the 3rd of September this year. At that day, we have 15,000 infected people. And so far, it's going down gradually by the end of October. And it starts going up again. And we don't know what's going on and when it will be stopped. But anyway, for the death toll, this graph show the picture that the peak day is around August. We have 450 people have been dead. And currently, the death toll go down and it's around 60 to 70 people per day. Hopefully, it's going to go down further soon. For the retailing supply chain in Ho Chi Minh City, in COVID pandemic is affected a lot. We face a lot of problems. But before that, let's see the situation before the pandemic to see how big the retailing supply chain of Ho Chi Minh City will be. In general, Ho Chi Minh City have 9 million people. And the demand for the foods per day is around 7,000 metric ton foods per day, account around 70% of fresh product demand. We have 110 traditional market, around 28,000 shop, and we have around 25,000 convenience store and 100 outside supermarket outlets. For traffic flows, we have to take around 12,000 trips per day. For the e-commerce channels, every day we have around 500,000 orders per day. This is supplied by 3 main players, that is Lazada, Shopee, and Tiki. Besides that, e-commerce delivery service is supplied by many players, including the famous name of Grab, Vietnamese, and the others like Wsn, Lalamu, Ahamu, and so on. To the people, in the opposite way, and most of people account around 70% use traditional buying method. It means that manual ordering, COD, cash on deliveries. Therefore, when the pandemic happens, it creates a lot of problems for us. Basically, for the retailing supply chain, when the pandemic happens, it creates a lot of disruptions and a lot of issues. Three main problems are supply disruptions, logistic and transportation disruption, and labor shortage. In details, the supply disruption mainly come from two sources. The first one, that's traditional, all of central traditional market have been shut down at the beginning of July. But the demand is account for 70%. Therefore, it creates a lot of pressure for supermarket and e-commerce channels, especially for e-commerce. In the past, all of e-commerce platforms serve for consumable product only. They don't serve for food. Therefore, when pandemic happens, they have to convert their operation process to serve for the food. It's very difficult for them. Secondly, the supply shortage happened because the factory shut down. The manufacturer or supplier require the people to stay 24/7. This creates a lot of problems. It increases a lot of costs for the companies, and the company don't have enough the human resource to run the production line. Therefore, the supply capacity have been reduced significantly. Second problems are logistic and transportation disruptions because of the road travels require many traffic permits. The driver have to take the COVID test and health check, and individuals from outside Ho Chi Minh City were not permitted to enter the city. Inside the city, the shippers are not travel intra-district. It means that they can serve for their own district only. Therefore, many orders has been canceled, no delivery, or it's late deliveries. If some supermarkets or some distributions companies have the center outside Ho Chi Minh City, they can supply the product into the city. Operator cannot go to work. They stay. Employee cannot handle all of job. It's overload. The warehouse network also have a problem that they cannot dispatch any product to the nearby province. Therefore, they have to set up the alternative warehouse inside the city. Therefore, it's expensive and the volume is small. And therefore, the volume go down significantly, 70% compared to the previous levels. The next problem is labor shortage. The worker forced to remain to their home. Therefore, the labor shortage only around 30% can stay in the factory or in the distribution center to work. At the same time, e-commerce order increased 600%. That leads to overload or delivery, late delivery, and so on. And sometimes with the stay employees, the operation have been stopped because if some infected people have been found, we call that F0, the whole system have been shut down. And even now, when the shutdown or lockdown have been released, many people are reluctant to return to work after harsh summer lockdown. To solve that problem, we propose some resilient solution for retailing supply chain in Ho Chi Minh City. Basically, the general directions, we try to move the traditional supply chain by in the traditional supply chain direct contacts. It means that the customer go to buy the product directly at the point of sale, like traditional markets, shop, convenience store, and so on. Now we try to restructure the retailing supply chain by distant ordering in different channels like e-commerce or ordering by telephone and call center and so on. Therefore, the customers just stay at home and receive the product by delivery service. To do so, we based on 4 pillars of the retailing supply chains. It includes the physical system, focus on DC and fulfillment centers for the point of sales, shop, and so on. And for the software system, we focus on ordering system and delivery and receiving system. Therefore, we have 3 main groups of solution. The first group of solution, we focus on improving physical system by restructure retailing supply chain. For software system, we focus on efficient coordination retailing supply chain. For workforce, we focus on sustainable human resource developments. For restructure supply chain, we focus on 3 main directions. That is supply chain redesign, focus on supply collection, build and convert traditional central market to the cross-dock center, share resource integration. We focus on process by standardized packaging, grouping product, focus on planning. We focus on location allocation planning, and try to move everything to be online mode or offer mobility market. For the supply chain redesign, we focus on supply collection. It means that we move the hub near to the production site to convert the previous structure, point-to-point structure, to the hub and spoke structure, to reduce the number of links between the suppliers and the customer. Then we encourage to sharing resource and encourage the integration between the traditional system with the online system. For the process, we encourage for the grouping product like combo product or standardized packaging. For location allocation, we propose some mobile markets, share group and take home buying, supply and demand assignment for service area, combined delivery, online buying. For software coordination, we focus on improving ordering system to develop share portal, integrate personal application and ordering method to move everything to online. For deliveries and transportation, we focus on manage the shipper and driver, optimize routing, delivery status, monitoring and supply system. For products and receiving, we focus on standardized products and standard receiving process, and take-home buying, limit number of people at point of sales. And here are some details for share portal. We integrate different ordering channels and e-commerce player together. We improve the order processing, order status monitoring, and other functions like automatic order allocation, customer clusterings. Integrate application, we provide for the, everyone health status, vaccinations, traveling, different, allow the people to order in different methods distantly, like the call center, online order. The most important thing is train the people to use the online system. For transportation, we design, manage the drivers and the shipper, and manage the delivery status and supply system. We also optimize the routing process. Optimize route, okay. For product, we standardize products and focus on product management systems. We limit encourage the people to buy to take home standard practice for everything. For transportation, supply, receiving procedure. This is examples of a system, software system that help the people to monitor the status of their orders. And finally, for the human resource development, we propose to set up the mobile clinic for the areas. We ask them to have the practice tests for different scenario of pandemic, and create e-commerce player to offer standard medicine packet for COVID treatment, centralized transportation for the companies to collect the staff to go to work together, by manage the people by green card systems, okay, to control health status and traveling monitoring, support the company to build apartment for employees. In conclusions, the pandemic, COVID pandemic is both challenge and opportunities. Challenge because they create a lot of problems for us, but opportunities, it's a chance for us to improve ourselves to be better, especially for retailing supply chain. We need to change both in structure and operation to the e-supply chain systems. The people also need to adapt new normal. The government should have master plan and policy for sustainable supply chain resilience. Thank you for attention.
Okay, thank you for the presentation from Dr. Hop. Now I think we're running a little bit short on time now, so we'll have to go quickly. So I'd like to just immediately introduce the next speaker. The next speaker is Professor Xavier Fernando. He's a professor at Ryerson University in Toronto, in Canada. He's co-authored over 200 research articles, 3 books, one's been translated to Mandarin, and he holds 5 patents, 2 of which are provisional. He's the director of the Ryerson Communications Lab, which has received a total research funding of over $3.2 million since 2008, both from the industry side and the government side. He is an associate editor for IEEE IoT Journal and the IEEE Consumer Technology Magazine. He was an IEEE Communications Society Distinguished Lecturer and delivered over 60 invited talks all over the world. So he's chaired the IEEE Toronto section and the IEEE Canada Central area, serving the IEEE Region 7 board. So currently he serves as the IEEE Canada Vitality Coordinator. So his work has won many awards, 30 awards at least so far, including a number of IEEE awards, the Professional Engineers Ontario Award in 2016, the IEEE Microwave Theory and Technique Society Prize in 2010, the Sarnoff Symposium Prize in 2009, the Opto Canada Best Poster Prize in 2003, and the CCECE Best Paper Prize in 2001. Ryerson University nominated him for the Top 25 Canadian Immigrants Award in 2012, and he was a finalist in that event. So he's been in the organizing or steering or technical program committees of numerous conferences and journals. I think we don't have time to list them all. He's also a program evaluator for ABET in the United States. So he's a visiting scholar at the Institute of Advanced Communications in the UK in 2008 and the MapNet Fellow visiting in Aston University in the UK in 2014. So we're really privileged to have such a distinguished alumnus to join us today. So I'm really happy to introduce Professor Xavier, and yeah, let's start his talk. And I hope that it's not going to take much more than 15 minutes. Okay, thank you.
It's 7:30.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Xavier Fernando. Today, I'm going to make a presentation on ICT, or Information and Communication Technologies, and Internet of Things, or IoT, in smart cities. As we all know, the Internet of Things is rapidly growing. The number of connected devices has reached almost 50 billion as of now. This slide here shows how the exponential growth happened all the way from 1990 to year 2020. And we have about 7 billion people in the world, and we have about 6 times more devices connecting we all together. And also, if you look the worldwide distribution of this Internet of Things nodes, you can see that this graph shows the geographic distribution, and Far East Asia and China contribute to about almost half of the world's IoT deployment. And total number of industrial IoT sensors are expected to about 36.8 billion, according to this estimate from Juniper Research. Also, this slide shows the different sectors in which IoT is deployed. So as you can see, the first 3 highest sectors are manufacturing, transportation and logistics, and utilities. And all these 3 contribute to a smart society or smart cities. And that is followed by other sectors and also healthcare and energy and natural resources play some significant role. So let us look at what this IoT is and the IoT framework. Right? IoT is essentially a connected loop. Basically, we have sensors or actuators with their own IP address that can be connected to the internet. These are the things. These are called the things, and we have numerous such sensors already in place in our society and in smart cities. And these sensors or nodes need to be connected to the internet. And most of the time, this connection is wireless. So it can be connected to local area networks, or if it is related to our body, it can be connected to a body area network, personal area network, control area network in case of vehicles, etc. So there are so many different types of networks. And these sensors are connected to the network, and the data, collected data, will be transmitted to a cloud, where the data either sent to or received from the cloud, where the data is stored and processed, and then important information or some decisions can be made by analyzing or mining this data. And once these decisions are made, these decisions are transmitted to, say, several devices again, or consumer electronic devices, or autonomous vehicles, or various other outputs where certain actions are made. Right? So that is a control complete loop. Also, those who are familiar with wireless sensor networks probably want to know what the difference between Wsn and Iot. The wireless sensor network talks only about the sensors and how these sensors are connected with each other and the routing protocols, etc. However, IoT, on the other hand, provides an end-to-end solution. The data is collected, stored in the cloud, processed, and appropriate decisions are made and actions are taken. So IoT is a complete solution. Right? And as I'm coming from the wireless communication background, we are very much interested to know what kind of wireless networks connect these IoTs and what are their attributes. And in fact, there are three major things we need to pay attention to. One is the data rate, shown here in the y-axis. The other one is the range or the distance. The other one is the power consumption. So typically you can see that Wi-Fi, we are all familiar with Wi-Fi, it can support very high data rate, but the power consumption is also very high. On the other hand, the long range communication standards such as Sigfox, LoRa, or on-ramp, these can give you several tens of kilometers of range. The power consumption is also low, but their bit rate, on the other hand, the speed will be very, very low. So it all depends on what kind of data rate you need. Some sensors only transmit occasionally and they don't need that much data rate, so they can really deploy some of these systems, whereas the systems that need very high data rates need to go for high data rate systems such as 4G LTE, 5G, or Wi-Fi. Also, if you look at, I talked about the physical devices or controllers, then if you look at the architecture, connectivity and computing, either at the cloud or edge, that means user device, or in between, in fog, and data accumulation, data abstractions, and development of various applications and implementing certain processes. All these are several layers of the IoT architecture. Okay. And when I talk about IoT, if I don't talk about machine learning and artificial intelligence, the talk is incomplete. Okay. So here we are looking at machine learning is how to interpret the data, how to collect vast amount of data and identify certain underlying rules. So there are supervised or trained machine learning algorithms or unsupervised or blind algorithms. The supervised algorithms typically has labeled or known data. So you use the labeled data to identify the underlying rules, and then you apply the rule to an unknown data. However, in case of unsupervised or blind machine learning, you really have to learn everything from unknown data. So that is much more complicated and complex. Also, when you learn the machine and you come up with certain rules, and artificial intelligence is really an ultimate way to make complex decisions based on these interconnected devices, the huge amount of data using the machine learning algorithms that has identified the underlying connections or relationships. Right? And also now we are talking about Industry 4.0, in which we actually collect all the data and make several decisions that is related to a smart factory and autonomous systems, where lots of the decisions are implemented. The previous stages of industry 3.0, 2.0, or 1.0 only had partial autonomy, whereas now we are talking about full autonomous industries. Right? And how this IoT and ICT are applied in a smart society or smart city. So there are so many different ways you can look into that. A smart society needs to have so many things that are automatically detected. For example, location-based services. We all know nowadays, a lot of services depends on where you are located, which part of the city, which neighborhood, and what is the nearest pizza delivery store, from what is the nearest police station or fire station or gas station, etc. So all these location-based services and smart services or value-added services will help us to realize a smart city environment. And IoT, sensing the data, sensing user behavior, sensing their location, sensing their speed, all these are very, very important to realize a smart city. And some of the other examples are like smart payments. So you go to an environment where you can use a smart card or your credit card to tap, or even your cell phone to tap, and smart payments. And some of these public transportation systems these days, it can automatically detect your rail pass in your pocket and allow you inside. So all these are coming from IoT implementations of smart payments. And of course, smart healthcare. There is lots of buzz about healthcare. Healthcare requires acquire patients' information and acquire medical data such as X-ray images, MRI images, or various other test data from the patient, storing them and appropriately delivering them to the physician, who will either make decisions and prescribe medications. Even the medications can be automatically obtained from pharmacies or some other places using this IoT network. So the IoT and ICT will play a really important place in smart healthcare. And of course, smart buildings, controlling heating and ventilation, smart transportation, smart energy, and smart territory improvement. All these are examples of IoT deployment. So as I was talking about energy, IoT also will play a very important role in smart grids. As we know, nowadays, lots of people are engaged in generating their own electricity using solar power cells or small wind generators, etc. So these generated small scale energy need to be stored appropriately and distributed in the grid. So the smart grid has become a bidirectional energy flow network compared to a unidirectional network that was in the past. So currently, everything related to smart grid need to be redesigned, all the way from protection to load management to load forecast and load distribution, load transmission. Everything need to be rearranged because of these microgrids that generate energy using small scale generators. And also, of course, electric vehicles. Electric vehicles are added to the smart grid, and electric vehicles really can transform the way the grid operates, because electric grid cars can actually store a lot of energy in it. And these batteries can be used as a temporary storage device. So you can actually get energy from the smart device, as well as you can supply energy to the smart car. So this can actually help you vehicle to grid and grid to vehicle energy flow that will help you to overall better manage the smart grid. And of course, In transportation, IoT play an imperative role. I already mentioned. Nowadays, they are talking about vehicle-to-vehicle communications big time and Internet of Vehicles, where IEEE 802.11p or even visible light communication will play an important role, where the vehicles can talk to each other, they can exchange safety information, they can exchange traffic-related information, etc. In addition, you can also deploy this in, say, automatic toll collection, say, fleet management, and passenger information management in public transportation systems. There are so many different applications where these IoT systems can be used effectively to optimize the transportation so that you can realize intelligent transportation systems that will minimize your wait time in the traffic. And of course, autonomous vehicle. This is a classical example of a really, really smart IoT node. As you can see, an autonomous vehicle is also an IoT node. It has huge amount of processing that need to be done. And basically these AV automatic vehicles have lots of sensors and lots of processing and lots of decisions to make in a very, very short time. And these are actually an example of a complete loop of an IoT system. So they really complete the overall loop. And of course, here in this slide, I have listed several hardware that can be used for IoT. You can go through that when you have time. Also, these are different softwares that can be used for IoT. And there are two things we need to focus. First of all, when you have this huge number of nodes everywhere, how do we power them? Right? So battery management can become a very costly and environmentally not sustainable exercise. So people are researching, including myself, how to minimize the energy consumption of these IoTs, how we can harvest energy from the environment, how we can support these nodes by energy scavenging from the environment using either solar, either RF energy, wind, so various other ways. And the other question is spectral sustainability. When we have these many large number of nodes, and all of these require their own radio spectrum, how do we support that? Right? How much we can allow spectral reuse? And nowadays, people are researching about terahertz frequency band and even optical wireless communication, such as visible light communication, in order to overcome this spectral sustainability. And also, most of these future systems will be very, very smart, and they will sense the environment, identify the radio environment, and decide which spectrum will not cause harmful interference and use that particular spectrum. It's called the cognitive radio systems. So these are also on the rise. Right? Of course, the most important thing about this realization of this IoT is security and privacy. It is very, very important to know how much security and privacy can be maintained. And the amount of money that's spent on the security and privacy is really high, all the way from, say, to exceed 1 trillion almost by 2021, but still some security breaches do happen. So there is it is an increasing area of concern, and there is lots of research happening there, and I'm sure that in the future, security protocols will be protecting us. And finally, essentially, I want to talk about 3 I's: instrumentation, IoT nodes, interconnection, where ICT comes into play, and intelligence, where all this machine learning and AI algorithms will play a role. And all these 3 I's should be used to serve the humanity, right? Only for the good purpose, to serve the humanity, not to destroy or not for any malicious intention. So as long as we use the technology to serve the humanity and help to improve the quality of life and have a peaceful life, I think we are all, that is the direction we want to go. Okay. So finally, a word about Rising Communication Labs in Toronto, Canada, where I founded this lab, and I have been working with so many students and industry partners and the government for last 20 years. And if you ever want to come to Toronto, you can always contact me. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Okay, so thanks very much for the presentation from Professor Xavier. I think it was very interesting. We'll have a chance to discuss more in the common session. Great. So okay, without further ado, we'll skip right on to the next speaker. This is Seung Hwan Lee. He does teaching in the areas of water and wastewater treatment processes, physical, chemical, and biological, advanced oxidation processes, membrane technology, water reuse, clean technology, environmental health and sanitation, environmental aquatic chemistry, water treatment process laboratories, and more, including environmental impact assessment, bioremediation, environmental toxicology, and natural treatment processes. So he has experience with
Give me a minute.
Okay. Yeah, so he has experience with students that are, can you turn off your microphone, please? Whoever's got the microphone on? Yeah, someone needs to turn off their microphone. Okay, thank you. So his research focuses on plasma irradiation processes for wastewater treatment and for carbon regeneration, neo-mixing technology for energy saving and recovery, MEUF, micelle enhanced ultrafiltration, ACF, activated carbon fiber, hybrid processes for industrial wastewater reuse, CP, chemical precipitation, MBR, membrane bioreactor hybrid processes for piggery wastewater treatment and biosource recovery, and the investigation of advanced oxidation for water treatment. So among his other experience is in biological treatment processes, membrane technology, anaerobic treatment processes, low-cost decentralized water purification processes, industrial wastewater treatment, environmental toxicology, natural treatment technologies, clean technology, environmental impact assessment, and bioremediation techniques. This is quite a fascinating and broad area of expertise across all of these areas. So I would like to invite the presentation for Seung Hwan Lee.
Okay, thank you so much. Basically, I'm the expert on more like environment engineering, but while I am consulting for the company in terms of ESG, environmental, social, and governance, in one of the leading companies in Korea, they asked me to introduce this new platform developed by Korea. So I'm very glad to take this opportunity to present a digital content platform recently developed from Korea. Can you move the next slide? Okay, KOK Play platform. Here, KOK is an abbreviation of Keystone, Opportunity, and Knowledge. Once you get to know KOK Play, you can experience a great opportunity and knowledge at this time of fourth industrial revolution. KOK Play is a digital content platform based on AI, artificial intelligence, and blockchain. Okay, next, please. Okay, due to the COVID-19 crisis, people spend most of their time with the mobile phone. Worldwide digital content platform, such as App Store and Netflix, the avenue has been increased drastically. Korea is very strong in digital contents. Nowadays, K-drama dominates in Netflix. Most of people know what has happened to Parasite and Squid Game. There is a global syndrome to Korean drama, Korean movie, Korean webtoon, Korean game, and Korean concert. Korea has become a software kingdom, rich in digital contents, but we are very poor in digital platform. We do not have a global platform such as Google Play, App Store, Netflix, and YouTube. Whatever digital content we have created in Korea, we have to entirely depend on the global platform company to meet with the customers. Okay, next one, please. So as a digital content provider, Korea is colonized. We are like a monkey in circus concert, like a magic monkey. Excellent player. Now, it is a circus concert. Who makes the money? Monkey or the man who trains the monkey? Okay, recently Squid Game has become #1 drama in every country where Netflix platform is available. It was a global syndrome. Korean actors as a service provider may gain a great reputation, but in fact, Netflix as a global platform gained most of money. Okay, next. KOK platform conducted an opening ceremony on September 2019. At the time, many national congressmen attended the event. Unanimously, they say global platform is the answer. They say we're going to do our best to support the KOK Play to be established as a global platform. Next, please. On December 2019, the former Prime Minister organized the Korea-China Forum among high officials from Korea and China government. And the chairman of Samsung Electronics, Hyundai Motors, LG, SK, and corresponding chairman of great company from China. At this forum, one of KOK founders was invited as a keynote speaker to introduce to KOK platform to all these people. Next one. Okay, you can see from this table, compared to the great global platform, KOK Play is a little baby. In terms of main content, KOK Play has included all kinds of digital content, such as game, film, drama, concert, webtoon, even the shopping mall. But in terms of service charge, half or 1/6 of global play. That's why digital content service providers, particularly from Korea, they are fully support the growth of KOK Play. Next one, please. Okay, KOK Play platform is managed by KOK Foundation. They were united to create a global platform from Korea. Especially here, Dr. Young Choi, the CTO of KOK Play, was a former president of Samsung Electronics Research Institute. And he's the very person who has developed an Android system and Samsung mobile phone. Now he has developed all the technical system of KOK platform. Okay, next one, please. So with the progress of platform, now this platform is managed by the second generation leaders. You can see recently the well-known futurist, Dr. Thomas Prey, has joined in advisory board member. Okay, this slide shows us the organization of KOK platform. We have entertainment division, game division, and platform division. And then now we are going to spread to overseas one by one. Okay, next. So started from Korea, many overseas branches are established. from China, Japan, USA, even Russia, and so on. Now, KOK Play centers are operating from 147 countries worldwide. What is KOK Play? For global K content consumers, a great advantage of Play platform is an easy and simple and very cheap payment system. The means of payment is KOK token, which is available within the platform wallet. Without bank account, without credit card, without PayPal account, people can enjoy all kinds of K contents as long as they have mobile phone. Okay, now let us see the platform contents. Once you download the KOK Play app, you can see all the digital contents available. With the increase of users, the number of contents will be increased one by one. The next one. Within the KOK platform app, there are 4 major functions. The first one is the content. So once you enter the content column, you can see various kinds of K digital contents. All the users can enjoy the displayed digital contents with KOK token. Okay, next one. The second function is the shopping mall. More than 1,000 products are available at this stage. Currently, it is the closed market within Korea, but later it will be developed as an open market worldwide. Next one. The third function is the cryptocurrency wallet. Currently, 4 kinds of digital assets, such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, US Tether, and KOK token is available. In this wallet, these cryptocurrencies can be transferred and deposited. The fifth function is mining. Whoever deposit their digital assets to platform can get the rewards in the form of KOK token on a daily basis. Once you mine the rewarded token, it will be deposited to wallet. KOK token can be transferred to various kinds of cryptocurrency exchange and then transferred to their local currency worldwide. At the same time, KOK token can be used as a means of payment to the digital contents within the wallet. Okay, next, please. KOK platform app was opened to the world at October year 2019. Now we are facing version 3.0 stage. We are moving on digital to real life stage. At this stage, we are going to launch KOK Community Pool as a decentralized decision-making system based on blockchain technology. KOK token will be expanded to offline payment system. Also, KOK Talk as a social network system is going to be launched. Non-fungible token, NFT, will be available very soon. In version 4.0, we are moving towards to the Metaverse platform. Next one, please. So eventually, the current app system will be expanded to wallet, platform, Metaverse, and the community pool. Okay, next one, please. Okay, this is an example of KOK Talk SNS. People can talk with their own language, but there is a live translation system. So people can talk their own local language, and then this Talk SNS system, they will automatically transfer to the person who is speaking a different language. Also, in this Talk SNS, people can send their cryptocurrency with free of charge. Next one. Okay, now this slide shows us the business model. The platform profits are from advertisement, content, the shopping mall, and the financial assets. The more KOK ecosystem is activated, the more sales will be generated. Next one. Okay, KOK platform will be expanded starting from frontiers, and those who are spreading this app, and KOK token holders, and eventually to the content consumers. Next one, please. Currently, we have almost 800,000 active frontiers from 147 countries, and they are growing day by day. So now we are aiming for 100 million members from all over the world. Next, please. Okay, so within the KOK platform, the means of payment is KOK token. Now this one is ready to use in the world one by one. It will take time, but now we have started. Okay, next. So actually, the ecosystem for KOK token was established on April this year, 2021. It took almost 1 year and 6 months to establish KOK token ecosystem. That means previously the KOK token was just like a paper, but 1 year and 6 months later, the KOK Foundation make it as kind of real cash, real currency. Next one. So due to the established ecosystem of KOK token economy, KOK token is now going to be recognized at cryptocurrency market like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin. Yes. Next. Okay, currently we have more than 12,000 kinds of cryptocurrencies at coin market cap. In terms of market capitalization, KOK token is listed 237 out of more than 12,000 coins. Next, please. So, okay, initially the KOK token was listed at ZVG exchange with $0.14. With the increase of KOK token users, now the value increased to $3.8, almost 27 times. Okay, please. So this figure shows us the variation of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and KOK token value for the last 1 year. Okay, next. Okay, currently KOK token is listed at 5 major exchanges such as ZVG, Bit Global, Bitrex,
Moderator, may I
KuCoin,
take a small intervention here, please? I'm the conference chair.
Heartbeat.
Nick, please stop in 10 minutes time. We have to join the other group. So
Okay.
the plenary time already overshot.
Bị thum.
You have to stop in 10 minutes time and rejoin the main room.
Do I have to stop now, or can I continue a little bit more?
I have allowed the other room also to go for 10 minutes more. In 10 minutes, exactly 10 minutes after 11, please stop.
Okay, okay. Okay, so Cork token is now listed at 5 major exchanges such as ZBG, Bit Global, Bitrex, KuCoin, and Heartbeat. Gradually, it will be listed other exchange one by one. Okay, next one, please. Okay, recently Cork platform was augmented by Medium Holdings company in Korea. Medium has a great potential to be an unicorn company as it will be listed in NASDAQ next year. Okay, next, please. Okay, in Korea, we have only 10 companies listed at NASDAQ. Next year, Medium Holdings, the mother company of KOK platform, is expected to list at NASDAQ. Currently, it is on NASDAQ OTC market. Next. Okay, sometime later, KOK platform is expected as one of user choices global platform. And at this point, Korea will be free from the digital content colonization. The detailed information on KOK platform, the Medium and KOK app will be available at this link. Thank you for your attention. In fact, I have made this presentation for AIT community because we have many things to collaborate with this special platform. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, so a big thanks to Dr. Lee. And so then I think we have to move to the common plenary session, right? And we'll have some panelists to intervene, and then a discussion, question answering, and summary. Okay, so let's go back to the plenary session.
Thank you again. Thank you so much for joining this particular event, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, gentlemen, ladies, where you are joining from. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers to inviting me for this first Global AIT Alumni Association Symposium. I'm actually privileged to be part of this event and joining as a moderator. As the moderator of this session, I would basically ensure that the session runs smoothly, and we will be able to conclude in time. And for this particular session, which is running parallel to the other one, I have 3 distinguished speakers, and we will have we expected to have 3 presentations. Of course, we will hear from Professor Surendra if he has a presentation. Each one will last about 15 minutes or so. And after the presentations, we would move to the plenary sessions where we will have a joint question, answer, and discussion session. So without further ado, let me begin with this particular session on digital transformation and smart cities. Our first speaker for the session is Dr. Phung Van Dong. Dr. Dong is the highly effective IT solution director with over years of experience specializing higher education and smart cities. He has contributed to and led several successful national IT projects, offering an array of skills in business development, solution counseling, research development, and implementing new initiatives, design thinking, team leadership, and stakeholder engagement. He has embarked on AI and forecasting model to develop applications and training programs for smart city solutions and digital transformations. Dr. Dong was the director of the Department of Research and Development Software Solutions for Smart Cities Technologies Group, where he oversaw projects invested by government ministries across many provinces in the cities of Vietnam. He has also held an academic position at Hanoi University. So today, Dr. Dong will be talking about the Vietnamese digital transformation strategy towards a digital nation. So we will be playing a pre-recorded video of Dr. Dong. So the floor is yours, sir. Can you play the video, please?
Hello, everybody. Greetings from Vietnam. My name is Phung Van Dong, the director of AITAA Vietnam. It is my pleasure to have a presentation in this today's special event. My topic is Vietnamese digital transformation strategy. Recently, Vietnam has approved the National Digital Transformation Program by 2025 with an orientation toward 2030. So my main purpose is to introduce to all of you this program. The information will help you to explore the opportunity to work with Vietnamese government agency or enterprise to facilitate digital transformation in Vietnam. AITAA Vietnam is willing to be a bridge for you who would like to collaborate with Vietnam. My presentation will cover main parts of the program, including the needs, approach, the vision, the viewpoints, the basic objectives, the task solution, priority sector, challenges and opportunity, and the opportunity for foreign investment. Now, I would like to talk about the needs of the program. Digital transformation is essential for economy and society development, and it is also a global change and an irreversible process. And especially the most Vietnamese enterprises have low level of science, technology, and innovation. From 80% to 90% of machinery used in Vietnam enterprise is imported, and 80% of them are old technology. Especially, the government committed to proactively transform itself using digital technology, and finally digital transformation is causing a far-reaching impact on the structure and relationship of global economy. Moving on to talk about the vision of the programs. In general, Vietnam shall be a digital nation by 2030. Now, I would like to talk about the viewpoints of the program. The first one, perception is the decisive factor in digital transformation. And the second one, the people are the center of the digital transformation. And the third one is institution and technology are driver. The fourth one, digital platform development is considered breakthrough solution to cost reduction and efficiency enhancement. And the final one is cybersecurity and safety are the key to the success digital transformation. In the viewpoint of the program, perception play a key role in the digital transformation, and the citizens will be at the center of the program. Moving on now to look at the basic goals and objectives. In general, Vietnam shall be a digital nation by 2030, and the goals and objectives are based on 3 pillars: government, economy, and society. Basic goals for digital government development up to 2025 and 2030 respectively are to improve operational efficiency, 80% and 100% of online public service at level 4, and provide on many different means of access, including mobile devices, 90% and 100% of work dossier online at ministerial and provincial level, 100% for both periods of socio-economic statistical report are connected, integrated, and shared. 50% and 70% of inspection activity are conducted online. Vietnam expects to be ranked in the top 70 and in the top 50 on the e-government developed index by 2025 and 2030 respectively. The basic objective for digital economy development up to 2025 and 2030 respectively are to improve the competitiveness of the economy. The digital economy accounts for 20% and 30% for GDP, and the digitalization rate in each sector reached at least 10% and 20%. Annual labor productivity increased at least 7% and 8%. Vietnam expects to be ranked in the top 35 and in the top 30 on the Global Innovation Index by 2025 and 2030 respectively. The basic objective for digital society up to 2025 to narrow the digital gap. The first one, the fiber optic broadband network infrastructure cover over 80% of households and 100% of communities, and universalize 4G and 5G mobile network services and smart mobile phones, and the percentage of the population with electronic payment accounts is over 50%. By 2030, the objectives are the fiber optic internet available nationwide and 5G service available nationwide as well, and more than 80% of population have digital checking account. Vietnam expects to be ranked in the top 40 and in top 30 of global cybersecurity index by 2025 and 2030 respectively. We have explored the basic goal and objective of the program, and now I would like to talk about the task and solution to create digital transformation foundation. Transforming the perception of the mission, the needs, and the urgency of the digital transformation in society, separating from point to place, from the pioneering group of the organization and individual to the community with a successful story, typically highly persuasive, including raising awareness, developing digital infrastructure, developing digital platforms, creating trust, ensuring network security and safety, expanding international cooperation, research and development, and innovation. And how about the task and solution for developing digital government? Digital transformation in the operation of state agency, development of e-government toward digital government, in which focus on developing digital infrastructure to serve state agency in a focused and transparent manner, to create open data that easy to access and use and enhance publicity, transparency, prevent and fight against corruption, promote the development of the digital services in the economy, and provide online level for public service on smart mobile device so that people and business have the best experience in service, fast, accurate, paperless, reducing costs, and to improve the national ranking index on e-government. Now we are moving on to talk about the task and solution for developing digital society. In this program, we try to promote social digital transformation, focus on secure transformation, provide open online mass course, collaborate with major organizations and business around the world to train and improve knowledge and skill in digital technology and digital transformation, forming a digital culture. To prepare human resource for digital transformation to develop the society and especially no one left behind. Some industry and field need to prioritize digital transformation first, in which focusing on the implementation of initiative to link industry and sector to provide a new and completely different experience, bringing a prize for people, business, and society. Digital transformation has also been prioritized in a sector which include banking and finance, education, energy, resource and environment, healthcare, agriculture, transportation, logistics, industrial production. Recently, the Ministry of Information and Communication has launched 38 Made in Vietnam platform to support government and small and medium-sized enterprise to implement digital transformation projects in education, healthcare, postal, traveling, business management, cloud computing, online conference, cybersecurity, and digital transformation areas. This program is facing with many challenges. The first one is digital infrastructure had not fully met the condition for digital transformation, and we are lack of trust in digital transaction and authentication, and limited open government data, and have not much innovation yet. The next one is education and quality and training and shortage of IT human resource, and institution, legal framework, and policy to promote economic development. Enterprise have not met yet the role of the facilitator for digital economy development. And the final one is failing to take advantage of disruptive digital technologies. However, there are many opportunities for Vietnam. Digital government have the government operate more effectively, transparently, and reduce corruption. The digital economy promotes innovation, creates new values, have increased the labor productivity, creates new growth engines, and escape the middle income trap. Digital society helps people equal access to the services, training, and knowledge, narrowing the development gap and reducing inequality. The Vietnamese National Digital Transformation Program opened more opportunity for foreign investors. Vietnam seeks to attract high-tech FDI and progress from a middle-income economy. It plans to accelerate a digital shift, automating several processes to have the achieve the goals. This will not only benefit the country, but also represent significant opportunity for foreign investors in the medium to long term. Recently, to add with this project, the IDB will partner with the Ministry of Information and Communication and will help in raising Vietnamese digital economy contribute to 20% of GDP by 2025. Under the agreement, IDB will assist for technical activity including research and development of legal frameworks, policy and solutions to promote the digital economy, finding resources to develop the national digital platform, and researching and promoting investment in digital infrastructure projects to work a comprehensive and sustainable digital society. Vietnamese government and enterprise open to cooperate with all foreign partners to accelerate this program. I have been presenting you the highlights of the Vietnamese National Digital Transformation Program by 2025 towards 2030, and I do hope that the information will be useful for you and your organization. If you would like to explore the opportunity to work with Vietnamese government agency or enterprise, AIT Vietnam are happy to support you to work with these agency and enterprise. And my presentation ends here, and thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dong, for that very interesting and insightful presentation. I think it was it's very good to see Vietnam's vision in the future, in the next 10 years or so. And I'm particularly happy to note you mentioning, even though we are going into the digital era, we still have to take into account people, which should be people-centering, and it should be taking the perception of the people also into account. And there are a lot of challenges that you mentioned, which are still, in fact, are there, and these are things that needs to be taken into account. And I also saw the idea of all inclusiveness of the approach, where we do not just go for a particular sector, but we are taking all sectors, and that is something particularly I was actually very happy to note. And I think with that, I noted that you mentioned about education sector. I think our next presenter is about specifically talking about digital transformation in education sector and see how it has been used or in practice for Indonesia. So thank you so much again. So we'll move ahead to our next presenter, Professor E.S. Margianti. Dr. Margianti has been working in education area since 1981 and currently as the rector of Universitas Gunadarma, one of the big private universities in Indonesia. She publishes academic journals and contributes various textbooks in management, information technologies, tourism, etc., as well as development, government policies and recommendations, such as the first joint conference Indonesia, Malaysia, Bangladesh Island, which is IGC CIMBI 2015. Republic of Indonesia government appoints her as the member evaluator team of Sinovic and as an assessor for National Accreditation Board for Education. She also serves as the advisory board of Indonesia Rector Forum.
Zoom conference.
So you can mute this. Sorry. She also serves as advisory board of Indonesia Rector Forum. She actively supports various professional organizations such as the APTIC, APTICOM, and she also is honorary member of Vietnamese University Association. Her contributions in the relations of Uzbekistan and Indonesia are widely known and acknowledged, such as the government of Republic of Uzbekistan officially appoints her as the brand ambassador of Uzbekistan for Indonesia. Her talk today is about digital transformation in education sector, especially in Indonesia and especially for her universities. It is important as we are experiencing actively this role of technology in the current pandemic situation. So, floor is yours, Dr. Margianti.
Very good morning, dear colleagues, honorable and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy to have this opportunity to share my opinion about the artificial intelligence or the transformation digital technology in education in our very prestigious meeting, and also, of course, I'm honored to become present in this occasion. So first of all, maybe let me share the screen with my topic firstly. So this is my topic, the reflective relation between human resource and digital transformation. Let me introduce myself. I'm Professor Dr. S. Margianti SM, and I'm also director of Granada University. Also, some of my temporary position as for below. So, distinguished guests, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, this talk is based on the experience of the Universitas Granada in utilizing ICT in transforming the educational process. The human resource is the key point of implementing digital transformation. Furthermore, digital transformation can also enhance the education process. So the opportunity, better learning planning as well as curriculum can be devised using the digital transformation. And here I am. I like to introduce again myself. My name is Margianti, and I'm director of Granada University, Jakarta, Indonesia. Granada University is a private university that, private university. It means owned by private, and then it's supposed to be very dynamic, rapidly respond to all changes, and also provide best service for public. Gunadarma University campus are located all around Jakarta, so it makes students easier to reach the campus. So, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, ever since the birth of computer, digital technologies have advanced more rapidly than any innovation in our history. Technology has touched almost every aspect of life today, from excelling tasks to ordering food, and education is no exception. Opportunities for communication and collaboration have also been expanded by the technology. And then one aspect of technology that has had a great impact on society is how it affects learning. It made learning more interactive and collaborative, help people better engage with the material and access to the resources. So, dear colleagues, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, today the trend of artificial intelligence is there are enormous amount of data being generated by application and inexpensive sensor that has been significant factor in altering the center of gravity of the computing world, making it possible to use centralized computer in data center. The innovation and research directed to the best technology company are affecting industrial world, such as healthcare, auto, finance, retail, and manufacturing. Abundant data, together with high-performance computing apparatus, will induce next-generation artificial intelligence option and empower researchers and information scientists to innovate at as fast or fastest pace. This variable will create artificial intelligence as an essential portion of device and application. So, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, so in the development industry revolution that happened upon us now, it's known as the Industrial Revolution 4.0. And then we are, as human, to get good impact and minimize the bad effect of industrial revolution, people have to change themselves and prepare to be ready in using it. So it is known now as the Society 5.0. That we are now in the middle of the industrial revolution 4.0 and also the Society 5.0. Therefore, the Industry 5.0 is not only the consideration about the use of some technologies as artificial intelligence, big data, cloud computing, IoT, machine learning, and other, the consideration about the change of organization, process, business, and also the human resource. This situation has made the gap of generation. The generation gap today, massive amount of information, book, audio, image, and video are available at one's fingertips through the internet. And opportunities for formal learning are available online worldwide through the Khan Academy, to more podcasts, traditional online degree program, and more. The phenomenon shift to the center of educational system, not only to be revolved around students, but also highlighting the co-creation and innovation center. So the future scale will be all technological scale, but advanced and basic will see a substantial growth in demand. Advanced technologies require people who understand how they work and can innovate, develop, and adapt them. Research conducted by McKinsey in 2018 showed that through 2030, the time spent using advanced technological skills will increase by 50% in the United States and by 41% in Europe. We expect the fastest rise in the need for advanced IT and programming skill could grow as much as 90% between 2016 and 2030. And also the demand for higher cognitive skill, such as creativity, critical thinking, decision-making, and complex information processing will go through 2030. This is the situation that we are conveying about. And also this means that the development of social and emotional skill and technological skill is a critical part of learning for the student. And also that change will require redesign business process and a new focus on the talent we have, as well also the talent of the market needs. So how educational institution is going to adapt? In this question mark, if we look back to the college or education system, one goal of the college education is to create the next generation of the positive leaders. And in many ways, technology has profoundly changed education. For one, technology has greatly expanded access to education. But we often admit, teach, and as a student, as to the goal were to create enough repositories of knowledge. Higher education leader can go beyond platitude and truly create a new generation of informed and active citizens by reinventing the way of doing the educational system, and also using or opening to the digital transformation. The digital transformation is the adoption of digital technology to transform the service or business through replacing non-digital or manual process to digital process, or replacing older digital technology with newer digital technology. So digital transformation is the adoption of digital technology to transform services or businesses through replacing non-digital or manual processes with digital processes, or replacing all older digital technology with newer digital technology. Digital solution may enable, in addition to efficiency via automation, new type of innovation and creativity rather than simply enhancing and supporting traditional methods. These are the base. Digitization is defined as the technical process of converting analog information into digital form. While digitalization is the organizational process or business process of the technologically induced change within industries, organization, market, and branches. While the digital transformation is described as the total and overall societal effect of digitalization. Digitalization has enabled the process of digitalization, with result in opportunities to transform and change existing business model, consumption pattern, socioeconomic structure, legal and policy measure, organizational pattern, cultural barriers, as well also digitally of society itself. The implementation of digital transformation in educational field, it is more than the use of computer or other technology. The use of the technology has to change the process in the university. It seems that students receive the learning process more effective as well as the administration process. However, the human resource readiness play important role in the adopting the technological or digital transformation. These are small or let's say few sample that has been doing in the university, in my place, I mean, in the Granada University actually. So we already doing the implementation of digital technology to change the administration process as well to enhance the learning process. Also, we do the implementation of the learning integrated lab, which enables students to learn in self-pacing style. Every student has their digital locker and the digital portfolio. Also in Gunadarma, testing the administration process as well the learning process. And then also on 2015, there was implemented or initiated a mobile technology called UG in your hand. Using mobile device, students can get the information, schedule as well as mark. And also this initiation has been awarded in USA S1 innovation. So the digital transformation in the education can be seen like this. Digital transformation in education doesn't only mean improving student experience, it also focuses on enhancing campus environment, teaching and learning methods. Therefore, we have classified the digital transformation in education sector in 3 categories. Firstly is transformation in the campus environment, and then the secondly was transformation in the learning process or learning method, and then also the third was in transformation in the teaching method. The scientific literature of the last 15 years include numerous pieces of research and experience about the adoption of innovation in education. Technologically, innovation has been constant in many cases, accompanied by pedagogical innovation, but the pace of adoption in is not as intense as it desired. Technology has become ubiquitous and intrinsic to every aspect of life. However, rather than the demand of what we need to create, it is the impact that what has been created that is driving change. This digital transformation in the education industry is not limited to the learning and teaching. Let us talk about all the major aspects of the digitization in the education sector, upcoming trends, and strategies that help enhance the overall student and teacher experience. Research has shown that experts often are even more susceptible than novices to become entrenched and locked into conventional ways of seeing things, such that they are unable to think flexibly and to get out the backwork that they already create by themselves. So, dear colleagues, this transformation not only talk about the adoption of current technology, but also the transformation in human resource capacity and also institutional policy. It requires exploration and holistic integration in technical, pedagogical, social, political, cultural, economic component of the system as a whole. So let us talk about the digital transformation in education in more detail. The idea of distant learning was actually the idea of the distant learning was initiated in 1958. Also, the different hypotheses from OCDE and the PISA show problem in the adoption of new technology target to improve education. In the UNESCO evaluation report on the Education for All 2000 to 2015 plan, it's indicated that the goals have not been met. Despite significant commitment and economic investment in education and technology by countries have been made. In most development countries in ICT infrastructure, teacher is commonly accustomed to more traditional tools such as word processor and presentation software. Considering that adoption of and integration of ICT become a relevant factor in the current educational process, these results are cause for concern. An approach that could contribute to improve educational innovation can be found in the Open Educational Resource OER movement. We can find in the MIT Open Courseware project is credited for having sparked a global open educational resource for the Open Educational Resource Management after announcing in 2001 that this was going to put MIT's entire course catalog online and launching the project in 2002. The term Open Education Resource was later coined in 2002 at a forum organized by UNESCO on open courseware in higher education. The online education is continued to grow and expanding throughout the years and become the pillar of our education system during the pandemic COVID-19 situation. So within the process of the digital transformation in education, we can we do also meet the challenge that through some educational institutes have been using technological solution for the last many years. Most of the school and universities have now realized that significance of digital transformation in education world amid the COVID-19 outbreak. Government across different countries are making effort to mitigate the immediate impact of school closure and facilitate the education continuity for. And also many educational institutions are providing remote learning to students, while some institutions are preparing to get back to the new normal and with the help of the new technology solution. So this is our true challenge of the digital transformation, that every country is unique. Every country is unique. And then also, we also fear of the unknown, many changes, many risks, and this is scary. What happens if it doesn't work? And so many questions to be raised. And also we, of course, need money, investment. Also, sometimes we lack of vision, and also we can find also the inflexible technology. So in terms of Indonesia, Indonesia was archipelago result in infrastructure constraint and poor internet connectivity for many students and teachers in rural and remote areas. 4 out of 5 internet users in Indonesia live in Java and Sumatra. Many low-income students and teachers do not have digital device or skill required for home-based learning. In 2020, 67% of teachers report difficulties in operating device and using online learning platform. And also limited access to affordable internet and appropriate digital device makes learning from home difficult for most students, especially those in remote and rural areas. And dear colleagues, despite having more internet users, connectivity is still highly concentrated in Java, the country's most populous island, followed by Sumatra, Sulawesi, Kalimantan, Bali, and Nusa Tenggara, and lastly Maluku, then Papua. The survey finds that unequal access to the internet has kept Indonesia in 56 place in the digital competitive index. It's a little bit sad, the same as last year, as the country continues to struggle to provide internet connection in remote areas. Meanwhile, the Communication and Information Ministry Informatic Director General Ahmad Emrami said the biggest challenge ahead would be to provide internet for the country approximately 12,500 feet with the 4G connection. As quote from the SM South Africa, the biggest obstacle in digital transformation remain in social aspect rather than technical aspect. So distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, during this pandemic, we suffering enough about this situation, and I'm sure that some of us already overcome the pandemic, but also we still have to be alert about the situation, since the situation can be changed in an unsure direction. So that is actually for the pandemic COVID-19 for this 2 years. It has been a very tough year for all the world. But despite all the losses, we also have one silver lining on this situation. So this pandemic silver lining that we can find is the government effort to provide free internet package have faced challenge in distribution and implementation, reducing the uptake. Also for Indonesia, Indonesian Ministry of Communication and Informatics has been developing concrete ICT infrastructure both in ground and the space segment. On a macro level, to strengthen digital connectivity, the Ministry of Communication and Informatics will accelerate the development of ICT infrastructure at least 10 years faster than the initial plan, which was originally going to be targeted to be achieved in 2032. And also government initiative program such as IARC, Indonesian Artificial Research Consortium, Digital Talent Scholarship, micro-credential certification, also initiated to bridge the digital talent gap facing by Indonesian. And that is our situation, we call it common situation all over Indonesia, but also, of course, this is affected also the Gunadarma University. So in this occasion, please allow me to convey the short introduction about the Gunadarma University or Universitas Gunadarma. I like here to tell you or share with you how Universitas Gunadarma adjusting the current or maybe the pandemic situation and all development. Therefore, agility is a key factor in operation of Gunadarma. The organization structure is dynamic due to the non-hierarchical working structure. And then also, the agile organization, which based on the task-oriented group, is compatible with collegial atmosphere in the academic environment. It is also provide flexibility in rapid decision-making, and we are also focusing on how to solve the problem rather than pointing who are responsible for the problem. And also we do the family value among staff and student is one of our strengths. So Gunadarma now, it is we are start from computer college. Now Gunadarma transformed into ICT-based university. We have faculties with focus on engineering and technology, and also faculty with focus on humaniora. With various faculties, but still maintain the uniqueness ICT-based university, the new faculty is a medical faculty. We are aware that the health is still a big problem in Indonesia. Students in our faculties learn a lot about the ICT. The knowledge and skill of ICT are not only transferred to the student, but also to public. Since the beginning, we realized that ICT will play important role in daily life, and everybody will use computer or digital devices for working. And also, this is all the academic program and faculties. We have 9 faculties and also 42 study program, and we are also provide the doctorate degree, master, and then bachelor, also the diploma degree. We are located in suddenly Jakarta. We have 13 locations, but it's grow faster and faster. And we do all the what the process, the administration process, the learning process, all enriched, empowered by the IT. And then also we are now developing the what you call it, the UJ Technopark as a living lab with sustainability design and engineering now important issue. Gunadarma anticipate by building a living lab, namely UJ Technopark. In this faculty, several new ideas are developed and present as real product and located in several thematic areas such as smart farming, smart building, smart arboretum, etc. Students from tourism, agrotechnology, civil, and engineering work together with students from ICT background to develop research results as well as products. We also introduced to the transformation digital in agrotechnology such as smart farming. And also, this Technopark play important role to incubate the research idea to real product from startup in Spain. And also for medical students, we also have a new hospital. And then also we put very, what do you call it? With very high attention to the.
I have to intervene at this moment because there is one more speaker left to be spoken. So can we please switch off the video and allow the next speaker to speak for just 10 minutes, because we have to start the breakout sessions immediately. So please listen immediately. So I will give 10 minutes, Mr. Moderator, I'm just, with your permission, I'm speaking. I'm the conference chair. Please give him 10 minutes for the next speaker, and we have to go to the breakout session because they'll be waiting there as well. So the time is up. We have to stop the video. I'm sorry about this.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. I think I was also a little worried about the time because this was a video, so I could not intervene. And I think we can stop and move to the next.
And in
speaker.
10 minutes time, we have to stop that session as well. Okay. I leave it with you.
Right. So again, thank you so much for that presentation, Dr. Magianti. I think it actually brought a lot of interesting topics in terms of discussion and going forward to see how digital transformation can be used in the education sector and what are the challenges. Now moving quickly to our next speaker, Dr. Adam Suhendra, who would be talking mostly about digital transformation in the smart cities, especially in terms of health, transport, and bringing the perspective. Dr. Suhendra has been the inventor for SARI technologies and many other initiatives that is going on, including Shenzhen manufacturing, Robo, and robotic-based AI-based platforms development as well. He holds a master's in science, computer science from AIT and a doctorate in information technology from Kassel University, Germany. His professional career began as a lecturer in Granada University and as an assessor for accreditation of higher education body, Ministry of Higher Education and Technology and Research Indonesia until present. He is also a consultant and an expert partner of Incubator business project in software for market exporter, which is funded under the Chamber of Industry and Foreign Investment Center, Ministry of Industry in Indonesia. His researches include some of the key, I think I will highlight, are face recognition using segmentation method and recognition system. The implementation of machine learning and methods for sentiment analysis in social media, similarity analysis, and motion-based and motion capture technologies, artificial intelligence-based methods for harmonized system code translations, and many more. So floor is yours, Professor Suhendra, and we would be, like Chair said, we will be sticking to 10 minutes and then we will move to the panel. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Moderator. Can you hear my voice, maybe?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for AITAA, Alumni Association, AIT, which invite me for sharing our experience regarding to the implementation of digital transformation that we have done in Gunadarma University, I think. Dear colleagues and all AIT alumni, first of all, I introduce myself that Mr. Moderator has introduced that my name is Adam Suhendra. I was in AIT on April 1993, studied in computer science program and finished on December 1994. And now my activity as a lecturer in Gunadarma University, and my position is as a Dean of Industrial Technology Department. Here I would like to share what we have done regarding to the implementation of the digital transformation. I think from our share, Okay, digital transformation, as we know that nowadays is a emerging technology that is currently being massively implemented in various fields, I think. Especially, we know that during the pandemic last 2 years, the development of this technology has a big impact on science and technology development, such as big data analytics, which term of big volume, big variance, big velocity, veracity, variety, and value, which is obtained from digital input data or devices, from sensor, camera, or even mobile application. As we know that the traffic of digital data transformation during this pandemic, it's a very big, because, for example, work from home, school from home, we also e-commerce using the mobile devices and so on. This big data also can be impact to processing and producing the necessary information based on mostly using artificial intelligence. Other technological development such as virtual and augmented reality also is other technology which impact by this very massive usage of this digital transformation for entertainment and also for planning. And the drone technology also plays a massive role in its operation to acquiring data using their sensor, camera, or maybe also to transport the tools from very hard to reach, maybe using the other transportation. They can be used the drone to send or deliver the goods to the destination. The massive requirement of digital transformation has also triggered advances in supporting technologies, namely the telecommunication. We know that the digital transformation needs the media to bring the data from the source to
May
the
I
destination.
kindly intervene, please? I'm Fernando, conference chair. We have to stop in 5 minutes time because we are running out of time. Please, because the other group will be waiting there. Please stop in 5 minutes time.
Oh, directly to final. Okay.
You have 5 minutes time still.
Okay, this one, because the time, I think. Okay, what we have done in implementation of this digital transformation. First of all, we have already create something robotics. This one is, we call that the respiratory for the help human that have a problem with their respiratory aspect. Yeah, this code is Robo. This Robo connect to the server to analyze the data, which to categorize the patient, and also to know about how the condition of the machine also. We also develop the oxygen generator, which connect also to the system that can be monitor and analyze how much the usage of the oxygen or how purity of the oxygen. And we also develop the RoboFire, we call that, for the clean or sanitize the room using the ultraviolet, and can be controlled remotely through the system. And another devices we have also regarding to this digital transformation, we use the robotics, we call the START or the Robo Telepresence for medicine. This system can go to the patient room and also represent the doctor with the aim of this nurse to investigate, to observe the patient, and can also directly interaction with the patient. And another one, we have also already developed the Robo Barista. We call that this Robo can serve as a person who can order a cafe. They just simply by tap the card, and after that the Robo will create a cafe and put in the specific position to get the cafe for the user, I think. And we also have developed this one is the trolley, smart trolley, we call that. this trolley can follow the user, directly. First they learn very short time regarding to this person, and after that this trolley will follow this person, and until I think the direction or the distance is about 2 meters maximum. This can also help the old people, I think the senior people that cannot directly bring the trolley, and they can just say or just follow the person. And another one, we have also analyzed about the social network analysis here. Nowadays with the digital era, the community can develop this community and clustering the community, and we can find which one is a center, which one as a bridge, and so on. If this community discuss about something, a very dangerous message or discussion, maybe we know who are they, and we can cut from the bridge. We can cut from the bridge here to disconnect the deliver of the message. And another, we have also developed the digital talent literacy. That's meant for our government through the usage of the digital devices, how they can very safely use of these devices, especially for the conversation. As we know that there are cyberbullying, there are also FOMO, fear of missing out. There are many negative impact of this using of the social network. It should be introduced in earlier, or especially in education.
So
we are
sorry, sorry to interrupt. I think we have to finish.
Okay.
Wrap it up quickly.
Okay.
So
thank you very much for your kind attention. People, maybe in the discussion we can talk about maybe another thing. Thank you.
Very sorry for that. I think it was interesting.
It's okay.
Just running out of time.
Okay.
Definitely we will have a chance to discuss further on the question and answer session.
Yeah.
Definitely
Okay. It's no problem. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you so much, the speakers and the panelists and for joining. So we'll move to the panel session now, where we would have more discussion and question and answer. Thank you so much.
You are welcome, Mr. Moderator.
So I request the organizer, please, if you can move to.
Yeah, everybody can leave the meeting, like not leave the meeting, but just leave this breakout session and go to the main session and join the panel discussion.
Okay, very good. Okay, then maybe Dr. Dash, I'll introduce the first panelist and you can introduce the second. Would that be all right?
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So our first panelist is engineer Kirti Kodituwaku. I hope I can say his name approximately correct. So he's a true believer in and has passion as an innovator and entrepreneur who's dedicated his career to lead Sri Lankan innovations to the world's best. So his areas of interest are in biomedical engineering, artificial intelligence, and the Internet of Things. And this has led to most of the innovations that he has introduced. One example is a system for monitoring vascular health. Okay, so he's got patent rights to that technology, and he's founded or been part of the first Sri Lankan company to achieve this kind of new innovative vascular system monitoring system. So besides that, he's researching in the area of brain-computer interfaces, IoT systems, and retinal screening systems with a focus on uplifting the quality of life in the world. So yeah, so I'd like to invite the presentation of Mr. Kirti and see what he has to say about these topics. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. About the digital transformation. When we talk about the digital transformation, we know the entire world is currently working on this topic. Under the digital transformation, we first identify 6 main areas: digital strategy and targets, organization structure, test and learning approach, talent and capabilities, ecosystem leverage, and culture change. So with these 6 areas, we create a complete and effective digital transformation. So when we talk about the Sri Lankan situation, I will go through few areas that I am involved with this digital transformation journey. So those areas are smart cities, digital health, and supply chain. So under the smart cities, I will talk about the road safety initiatives, telecommunication infrastructure projects, and national forest inventory coverage. And the digital health solutions. So we are involved with the AI-driven technologies to identify some diseases, and then the downstream supply chain. So when we talk about the road safety initiatives, we know more than 3,000 people die every day in the world due to the road traffic crashes. In Sri Lanka only, about 8 to 12 people die every day because of this dangerous condition. More than 3,000 people die, and billions of money is being lost to the national economy as well per year. So there are many organizations are trying to address this problem, and the Sri Lanka police is the one who leading that, who's the law enforcement agency. So, but without proper data system, they can't understand the root causes of these problems. Therefore, they cannot achieve the maximum results of their operation. So we decided to address this problem first. By joining with WHO, we wanted to address this. First, we focused on data analytics and the AI systems to understand the black spots and the high dense accident areas of Sri Lankan road system. But doing that will not solve the problem, because in order to sustain our programs, we wanted to empower citizens. To do that, we launched e-traffic police application. By using e-traffic police application, people can report the violations on the spot, and then the Sri Lanka police can take actions and identify who are the people who has done that violation, and they can be punished. So when we talk about the telecommunication infrastructure, we know the communication technologies are one of the key areas of this digital transformation journey. And with the COVID pandemic, the demand has risen to the top. But with that, Sri Lankan government has decided to go with the fiber network installation to give the high-speed internet to our citizens in Sri Lanka. But to do that kind of project, it's really hard to do planning, installation, and project management. So we decided to implement these automations tools to facilitate that. Currently, this system is the one that used in many installations in Sri Lanka, and very effectively that operation is happening at the moment. And the forest coverage. And talk about the forest coverage, Sri Lanka is a country that faces big problem due to this forest related issues, because we need an updated system to manage with the development projects and other activities, and otherwise the coordinations will not happen with the other departments for these projects, and then what happens is our forest coverage will be in threat. So these kind of systems help us to go to that level and safeguard the national forest coverage, and in the meantime, will be able to give the relevant access to the development projects and other related activities. So when we talk about the digital health is an area that we can't miss in the digital transformation. With the pandemic, we all know that everyone has focused their attention on this digital healthcare solutions. So when it comes to digital transformation of the health system, we see three stages. One is the simple systems, profiling systems, channeling systems, hospital management systems, those kind of information systems for the first era of this. And the second era is the current era. Currently, what happens is we're trying with AI technologies to early detect the conditions and then maintain the patients, remotely maintain, remote diagnose. Those kind of areas are currently being explored. In future, maybe 5 years, 10 years down the line, we'll be able to perform surgeries remotely and collaborate with few doctors together as one team and simultaneously handle multiple operations remotely. So this will be a future task, but currently these activities are in progress, even at the research level. So we talk about the systems we are trying at the moment. First one is the diabetic retinopathy screening system. About 45% of diabetes patients in the world are having this risk of getting diabetic retinopathy and then losing their vision. Important point is more than 90% of these people can be saved if they were diagnosed at the early stages. So 90% means almost all the people can be saved. But early diagnosing is the key to do this. So the Sri Lankan, with the Sri Lankan authorities, currently we are doing the test trials for this project, and we hope very soon we'll be able to launch this to other countries as well. So we hope by doing that, we'll be able to eliminate that problem and save the vision for this people of this world. And then the cardiovascular diseases. Cardiovascular diseases are called as the #1 killer in this world. Then again, the early diagnosing is the key to identify, save from the cardiovascular, diseases. Mainly the deaths can be averted by diagnosing this condition at early stages, especially the people who are in the middle age are very afraid of this condition because they have to face certain deaths and unfortunate situations sometimes due to this critical condition. By diagnosing this condition at the early stage, we can help these people to save their lives and save their money and spend a very good life with their families. And this technology was invented in Sri Lanka and patented in US. And currently we are doing our regulatory approval processes in Sri Lanka. So we hope we'll be able to launch this very soon. And by launching this, we can save millions of lives, not only in Sri Lanka, but also everywhere in the world. So when we talk about the supply chain solution, we all need our supplies to come in very quickly, and we want to see the transparency of that supply chain. So this is the major problem we addressed during this downstream supply chain. which is the one that goes to the, goes with the end product to the end customer. So in Sri Lanka, by joining with the leading conglomerates, we were able to launch this product to the entire country. So this platform helps the end users to order through the system and get the deliveries to their doorsteps, and they can keep the track records, and they can see what's the progress of their orders, and then most importantly, the optimization of the businesses. Now, the companies who are working with us, they can reduce the amount of losses that they face due to inefficiencies of this processes, and also they can maximize their profits by reducing the wastages and also ineffective usages of their resources. So likewise, the digital transformation is something that the Sri Lankan people believe, and they are already experiencing these uh, benefits of digital transformation. And before I finish my presentation, I should say thank you for giving me the opportunity, and I also hope this will help us to open a broader scope to our panel discussion. And most importantly, all these solutions are aligning with UN Sustainable Development Goals, and we hope by introducing all these to the people, we can uplift their life to a better level. And thank you very much again.
Okay, so thanks very much to Mr. Kirti. It's good to see his perspectives and understand what's going on in Sri Lanka. So now maybe I'll turn it over to Dr. Dash, right, who will introduce our next panelist.
Thank you, Professor Daly. So we will move to our next panelist, who is Dr. Asti Damayanti. I hope I pronounce it rightly. So who was born in Jakarta, Indonesia. She holds a BSc in Information Technology and MMSI in Business Information Systems in 2012 from Granada University, and MSc in Computer Vision 2013 from Université de Bourgogne, France, and doctoral in Information Technology in 2018. Our thesis is about methodology of requirement derivation for heterogeneous systems with socio-technical approach that satisfies the traceability of system requirements. The research concerns about the impact of emerging situation in such the development of modern information systems must take into account not only technical capabilities, but also social aspects and needs that save the level of satisfaction of end users of the systems. She is involved in many projects, both national and international. She is interested in diverse domains from artificial intelligence to web systems and securities. In 2020, she was one of the local consultants for big data project between the Ministry of Health and WHO, which is the World Health Organization. She is currently the lead front-end designer engineer of Wsn application for the National Civil Servant Agency of Minister of Republic of Indonesia. So over to you, Dr. Damayanti, for your presentation and intervention.
Thank you, Dr. Dash. So I have not prepared any presentation, so I will just take briefly commenting on our session and give some of my take. So the widespread of digitalization has brought breakthrough changes to the economic, which caused organizations to fundamentally change the business processes, products, services, a way of thinking, as well as restructuring to survive. And during the session, we have seen how digital transformation was enforced in Vietnam and Indonesia. As in for this first speaker, we learned that the Vietnam digital transformation policy is built under 3 pillars, which are government, economy, and also the society. And Vietnam is projected to reach as the digital nation by 2030. And they are not only focusing on infrastructure, but also expanding the cooperation and research development. And Vietnam took also a major step to promote the digital transformation by initiating the cross-government initiative. And from the second speaker, we learned that the reflexive relation between the human resources and the digital transformation, which is also something that is Dr. Pang points out during his session, that digital transformation must also take into account the people's perspective. And today's massive amounts of information, such as book, audios, video, podcasts, and so on, are available on our fingertips through the internet, and the opportunities for formal learning has shifted the center of education system to not only revolve around the students, but also highlighting the co-creation and innovative centric. And the transformation was made in education, not only in the campus environment, but also the way of learning and teaching. And as the third speaker, Dr. Adang shows very interesting opportunities in digital transformation. Similar to the first panelist, Dr. Adang has presented many innovations made thanks to the adoption of technologies such as the Robo Telepresence and the respiratory devices that helps the COVID-19 patients to survive during this pandemic. And his latest innovation is the smart trolley and the Robo Barista, a robot that can serve the coffee itself. And he also points out that the digital transformation not only concerns the technology, but also the society ethics, where he developed a model for the current condition as well. And he has many interesting innovations to talk about, but however, due to the time limitation during his session, he might not able to mention all of them. So maybe we can ask him more further in this discussion. And so the digital transformation has been a strong influence to the world economy, especially when the pandemic is happening. In this case, digital transformation can be seen as a major organizational change driven, built or triggered by the public technology, changing the way business is conducted. The strategies that make up the achievements that many countries have so far may not have the same effect in the future because of the change of international integration and digital technology development. And in 2020, we saw many organizations make process improvement and adopt new technologies. However, many of these didn't have lofty goals in mind. They were simply forced into making these changes in order to continue the operations amid the pandemic. So the digital transformation very much about the outcome and about improving the outcome or transforming the outcome. Companies undergoing a digital transformation have likely to enjoy increased market shares and customer engagement, higher employees' morale, and increased customer revenue. So an effective digital transformation strategy is favored. And I have been involved in many digital transformation projects in Indonesia, both in local, in the villages level or in the nation level. So based on my experience in many digital transformations projects, findings are concluded that the challenges may vary seldom about the availability of technology, but most common issues were was due to the internal factors, as in non-technical problems. So if we refer to the definition of transformation as a dramatic change and an extreme and radical change. So innovative technology automatically brings some changes with it, and adapting the technology also affect our lives and of the people that also embracing the technologies. And the implementation of digital transformation does not only revolve in the technical issues, but also non-technical issues or social aspects. As mentioned by Mrs. Marganti, the second speaker, this type of transformation not only talk about the adoption of the current technology, but also the transformation of human resources capacities and institutional policies. It requires exploration and holistic integration in technical, pedagogical, social, technical, cultural, economic components of the systems. These non-technical consequences are the topic that I would like to highlight in this panel. So not only paying attention to the physical infrastructure, but these invisible challenges are something that we need to focus on. As in Indonesia itself, President Jokowi is also positive that the implementation of technologies will push Indonesia to be one of the top 10 biggest global economy by 2030. And of course, these big opportunities for Industry 4.0 in Indonesia are mostly driven by the demographic factor in the country for the next decades, as the large population in Indonesia has over 100 million smartphones users, and over 145 million people are connected through the internet. A huge advantages to the realization of Industry 4.0. Unfortunately, according to the World Bank, Indonesia ICT graduates are often below the industry standard, which between 2015 to 2030, there will be a deficit of 9 million ICT workers in Indonesia. And in order to reach this goal, there are major moves that being prepared by our government. And it's also presented by Mrs. Margianti. The government has established many trainings and capacity building for its citizens, and it's free. And it's also they also reinventing their standards, nation standard for the workforce in ICT. So but Indonesia itself, we need to first prepare the human resource quality by identifying the Indonesian talents in the current states. And moving into the 2021, most entities are still struggling to define how the new digital strategy fits into their longer term goals. And if I may address some of the main challenges in digital transformations are the lack of understanding of business processes, current standard availables, and also the knowledge about the standard itself, lack of dedicated IT skills in the organizations and organization change managements, evolving customers' needs, a lack of defined strategies, business IT aligned strategies, and budget concerns, and also constraint. And also the most important thing is the data management. So I think that is my take on the digital transformation about this session 3B. So maybe we can proceed to the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Damayanti. You actually made my life easier. You just summarized the whole session. So I think we can now move into the discussions, question and answer session. So I will actually ask Professor Daly to lead this session, if that's fine. Anyway, there will be, we can open to all questions. And there were actually both the presentations that, in fact, also presentations that we heard in the 3B were quite interesting. And I myself had a number of questions actually. But what we can do is we can hear from people if there is any questions that we can take now, and we can answer that. So yeah, back to Professor Daly.
Okay, thanks, Dr. Dash. So yeah, if you have a question for any of the panelists or the speakers, then please write them in the chat, and then we'll try to synthesize them and then direct them to the relevant speakers. Okay, go ahead. Okay, I think we're waiting for some of you are writing your questions already, right? Dr. Dash, did you want to ask one of those burning questions that you came up with from the earlier session?
Yeah, in fact, it was quite interesting. I think Dr. Damayanti just summarized also as well. One of the key presentation was on digital transformation and its use in education sector itself. And I think we are now experiencing that, through the pandemic. Probably, I don't know if we should thank the pandemic that we are actually forced to use the digital technology in that perspective. In fact, my question to the panel would be, are we becoming reactive in that sense? This technology was there. Actually, one of the slides he was mentioning about, MIT started this open, study process in 2002, and it took us almost, 18 years to actually practice it. So one of my question is, was we waiting for a pandemic to happen to go into an online, study mode, and whether we should be more proactive in that? And this is just education sector is one. Probably digital transformation, when it like there are a few things that actually Dr. Damayanti also mentioned, IT skills, infrastructures, business processes itself are key. But my question to the panel is are we becoming more reactive than proactive in using digital transformation in the process?
Yeah, I think the greatest silver linings from the pandemic is that this massive adoption of technologies. I think if we don't have the pandemic, in Indonesia itself, it's almost impossible to have this a great explosion of technologies in our adoptions in our countries. So I think that also caused us to be reactive and also proactive. And in my university itself, we have been very proactive. Actually, it's really the innovations that we made during the pandemic is achieved, I think, surpass the before the pandemic situations. I think export the unexplored. I think that's really defined our current situations. And we have been adopting the broadcast technologies. We have UGTV is our education broadcast system in University of Gunadarma, and we have integrated this with the education, how we deliver our materials, how we construct our materials to deliver it to the students, because we know that the infrastructure in Indonesia is the IT infrastructure is still not massively. It's not the same. It's always concentrated in the big cities, most of them. And so that in a way that we would like to expand our channels so that our education still reach the unreached. So I think that is why pandemic it has the it caused a bad impact to most of the business entities, but also it's enforced us to go beyond the ordinary. So I think that's
okay. So thanks very much. So we have another question for this is from Dr. Dong, and he's curious to ask Professor Suhendra about analyzing social networks and finding important people, and then wants to know, are there any challenges in ethics when we access data about people?
Okay, thank you very much for the question. In this research, I implement the Twitter comment. That means this one is already legal as because we have NDA and we have also agreement. To do this, how can we? I think this question is how we can find the central of the social network person. We use the degree of in and out degree. Yeah, it's very simple. If we use the graph theory, there is a in and out degree. We calculate in and out degree, and also we implement the betweenness centrality to find which person are very important regarding to as a bridge person. That's mean message from one group delivered to another group through this person or this node. I think many measurement in social network analysis we can apply here to identify which person is very important as a central, who person is very important as a bridge, and also whose person is also have a downliner. Downliner means if they have a message, they directly send the message using the eigenvector value, something like that. Yeah, we use the mathematical approach regarding to find that one. For the ethics, of course, here this one we use very I think carefully. Yeah, that's mean we don't broadcast something that cannot be broadcasted messages. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, then the next question, this is a pretty interesting one from Dharma Siri. This is to Professor Xavier Fernando. And he's questioning the presentation in which you showed that I think most of the impact of IoT, according to your presentation, is in a few areas like logistics and manufacturing and so on, and not much in the finance sector as of yet, right? So then he's wondering, well, why is that so when we have all these blockchain technologies and things like that that are having great impact in finance? So I guess the question is IoT and blockchain going to come together and have real impact in the near future, or not?
Yes, I think the answer is yes. But as we see that IoT is really good in collecting data from say from environment, from various other sensors and various other entities that are not necessarily financial, right? Blockchain is, on the other hand, is a great technology in the financial sector that's essentially enabling a distributed ledger book, in other words, and it's really secure, right? So what I see is, I'm not really an expert of blockchain. I'm basically a communication person. But from what I see is, it will take some time before really the collected data from IoT will really enhance the blockchain deployment, right? So if you are really looking at the blockchain deployment in the financial sector, I think that's really huge. It's going very fast. But on the other hand, IoT is really has influence in some other sectors, not in the financial sector yet, but it will happen very soon. That's what my understanding is.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Okay, next question is from Virginia, and the question is about digital transformation and the digital divide and the gap between the rich and the poor. And so I guess she's thinking that that digital transformation may have the undesirable effect of increasing the wealth gap between the rich and the poor. So then, you know, what can we do about that at either at our level or at a government level in terms of initiatives to ensure that that we're not making things worse for the poor worldwide? So I think I don't know if this question was directed to anybody in particular. So maybe I'd invite any of the panelists to jump in if you have a comment on this. Any takers? Well, I think back in session 3A at least, we saw at least one example of where there are a lot of efforts to try to at least bring more of the revenue of creativity and things like that to the content creator, right? This was Dr. Lee in the first session, right? Is working to bring you know, sort of create a Korean global platform for distribution of Korean digital content, right? So this may be one example of where technology may be able to have the possibility that instead of sending all the money to FANG or manga, right, that we can keep some of the we can keep the fruits of our labor in our own countries, right, to develop our own economies and so on. So that might be one answer. Do you want to say anything about that, Dr. Lee?
If I may add.
Oh yeah, okay, sure, go ahead.
So based on my experience, because I was involved in Bangkit program, which is a Google initiative program in Indonesia for capacity building, and one of these students that involved in this program was in Solo, if I'm not mistaken, and his family is majorly impacted by the pandemic. So with these technologies, we can explore these possibilities and opportunities. The usage of technologies not only to make money for certain part of people, but also to encourage the other person that is not really just underprivileged to reach the impossible by the uses of technologies. Because through the pandemic, in this program we are able to have speakers and speakers from abroad, from Google's, from Tokopedia, is a tech giant in Indonesia, and so on, and to reach this underprivileged person to have equally educations for all. So, and it's a major program. It's under the Ministry of Education of Indonesia, and also it's collaborates with Google. So I think it's not only about the in the business. We should see in other perspectives as well.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Okay, we have another question also from Virginia. This is directed toward Dr. Suhendra, right? So she's interested to know if there's any risks in terms of, actually it could be any kind of technological solution to any problem, ultimately puts surveillance information in the hands of the centralized authority that is putting out the program. So so is there a possibility that that these programs could be used for surveillance and limitations on free speech?
Okay, thank you for Virginia. I think this program, Digital Talents, means we will educate the person who use the digital data or digital application that consider about the content of the message. That's mean they should know what is the origin of the message. Is it hoax or not? Something like that. Is it the person is has been trust for the public or not, or something like that? Because in Indonesia there is a regulation to use the internet. We call the policy or the regulation about the AITAA using information technology for people who use the AITAA. That's mean which kind of message that is I think prohibit to use and something like that. There is a clear list there. That's mean we introduce the people when they use the social media, when they use the communication for the public using this public medium. That's mean they should think first before they send a message. They should think about what is regulation say. That's mean the regulation here not so strict here to like this question is to free speech. Yeah, that's mean if the speech is for the development, if the speech give some advices and so on, I think it's okay. Yeah, it's not so strict that for this regarding to the free speech, something like that, because we have the regulation in Indonesia. We call the AITAA regulation. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks very much. We have, I think we're running out of time, but we have a few more questions, so hopefully we can cover them and take just a little bit more time. So the next one is again from Dharma Siri, who's actually this question is for Mr. Kirti, and he's wondering what difficulties do you face when you're trying to commercialize inventions in Sri Lanka in particular, or and maybe more generally in other of the smaller countries in Asia?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. And when I see the difficulties, I would categorize it into 4 areas. One is the technical difficulties, one is the regulatory related difficulties, other one is the financial difficulties, and the other one is the social difficulties. So these 4 areas are there when we are going to implement this kind of solutions. In most cases, we have turned these difficulties into an opportunity, and otherwise we will never be able to implement such a solution. So there are a lot we can discuss, but I'll talk in general. So when it comes to the regulatory related difficulties, there are now, say for example, if you are going to implement IoT technology, there are band limitations, and there are certain restricted areas. So likewise, there are difficulties, and also at the same time, there are connection issues. Those kind of difficulties are there. One good example is we are handling NB-IoT deployment in Sri Lanka, and we have faced a lot of difficulties because the NB-IoT connectivity is not available, and only one service provider is giving that service. So likewise, there are examples now, especially when it comes to our medical solutions. There are many red tapes. So not only from the government side, even for the research also, there are a lot of challenges to move. But sometimes those, early challenges are good. Now, say for example, when it comes to a research, new product implementation, we get challenges from the medical faculties, challenges from the ministry side. So those things are addressed at the very beginning. And the biggest issue is the time consumption is high, but it will help us to reduce the difficulties we face at the latter stages. So, and then when it comes to the social difficulties, Sri Lanka is a country that that has multi-ethnic people, like many ethnicities are there. So when it comes to a solution, their practices are different, especially for a solution like traffic police when we are doing. So there are not the ethnic groups, the age categories. So we see the people who are getting that technology is the young people. So they are really used to that, and they want to be empowered. So they use this as a tool to be empowered, and they want to embrace the technology solutions like this. But we design the solution for all people. The thing is, we are doing certain changes to address those difficulties and expand it further and further. I think that is not only for Sri Lanka. I think that is common for all the countries. So to implement such a solution, we have to address these problems. So I hope I answered your question.
Okay, yeah, thanks much. So I think we have one more comment and one more question, and then maybe we have to wrap up with that. So the comment was from Mr. Tan from Singapore, and he's advocating that we should all get together to form an AIT consultancy enterprise, right, in these different areas that we have specialization in. And yeah, maybe to contribute through this consultancy work to contribute some fees toward AIT development and education. So this sounds like a great idea. So I hope that we can act on that. So thanks to Tan from Singapore for this comment. And then yeah, hopefully last question I think is about the environmental impact of digital transformation and digital technologies in general. So we know, for example, I think the latest statistic that I read is that Bitcoin mining currently consumes more energy worldwide than the entire country of Argentina, right? So this is pretty shocking, right? And it means that those of us that are working in the area of blockchain and transformation, we're partly responsible for this, the environmental impact of what we're doing. at the same time, we have these cloud-based systems, right? Cloud servers and the data centers are kind of eating up our planet to some extent, right? So so I think there are many of the panelists might be able to speak on this. But maybe we'll let you jump in. Any of the panelists that are interested in addressing this topic. So how I guess the question is more about how can we make progress in digital transformation without selling our souls to the devil, right? Without creating a worse environmental catastrophe than any of the good that we're making.
So maybe if I may add. So I think well, it cannot be implemented in all companies, but for example, Facebook has moved its data center to I think to the northern countries to minimize the environmental damage to the world, so that they use this the cooling air from the natural cooling air, so that they can minimize the environmental, I mean the power that they use to cool the data centers. So, but well, this kind of solution might not be able to be implemented in many companies as well. So maybe Dr. Adang also want to add some.
Regarding to the energy, of course, yeah. I think because of the computation, needs a very high consume the energy. I think the problem is how to find the alternative, yeah, because the transformation energy is roll around, yeah, until now it cannot be stopped, I think, yeah. Therefore we should find, yeah, as Dr. Asti said, that we should find another alternative to find the energy that cannot consume. I think very high from the, yeah, for example, from the oil. I think we can alternate using the solar cell energy, using the water energy, and other alternative. That's what I mean is, yeah, the transformation of the digital transformation needs the energy, because this one is emerging technology that can follow by how to find alternative energy to discover this problem of energy needs. I think so. My answer.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I guess on the IoT side, maybe Professor Fernando would like to say more, but I believe one of the themes is very much concerned with energy, efficient energy utilization and harvesting energy from the environment, rather than requiring electrical supplies, at least at the edge, right? So I don't know if he has comments about what to do at the data center, but at least I think at the edge, we're working on these problems. Is that correct?
That's right. Actually, basically, I'm an electrical engineer. I like to work with electronics and wireless and communications. I'm not like a data analyst guy. So my concern and my focus is more on the environmental pollution with the deployment of large number of devices, especially with battery powered devices, and how the batteries are disposed, right? So therefore, there are lots of initiatives are there to actually harvest energy from the environment. Especially most of these IoT devices, they transmit very little data, and occasionally they transmit. They are not very data intensive devices, right? So the data rate is low, the ranges are not really too much, so they can actually generate their own energy from, say, sometime from solar or some other electromagnetic energy, or from vibration. So actually, that is my personal area of research also, and I believe that that will have a big future. It will both reduce the cost as well as it will help the environment.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so I think we've used up all of our time, and there are even some more comments in the chat. So I'd invite anyone to take a look at the questions in the chat. and so then we may have further discussions offline on these topics. So it's been a real pleasure to be part of this session. I'm really amazed at the great work that our alumni are doing all over the world, and yeah, I think it's fantastic. According to the rules of this forum, me and Dr. Dash are supposed to have a brief summary, right? So maybe I will briefly share my screen. You can see my screen, right?
Not yet.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, so at least from our side, we had some really nice talks. So Dr. Hop talked about what's going on in Vietnam with the COVID crisis and in particular supply chains in the country and in particular Ho Chi Minh City. So they're looking at developing resilient supply chains in the country. So doing some really nice work there. Professor Xavier Fernando is working in Canada, right? So he's left us behind in Asia here, right? But doing really great work on IoT and some of these issues which he just introduced here. Dr. Sung Hwan Lee in Korea is doing some really interesting work. I look at it. Well, I like the way he poses this KOK play system that he's participating in the building of. And that's basically trying to end digital colonization of Asia, right, by the big powers. So I think this is really interesting work. Then Mr. Kirti talked about the entrepreneurial environment in Sri Lanka. So I think this is great. And then Dr. Damayanti has emphasized, of course, the social aspects of everything that we're doing, and been very kind to discuss some of the mitigations that we're doing, right, to make to ease the pain of any digital transformation and also make it relevant for society. So this is really great. So anyway, I want to summarize from my point of view that I think it's really amazing what the AIT alumni are doing, right? So we're making our cities smarter, we're making our infrastructure smarter, we're making our healthcare system smarter, and then maybe even trying to create more distributed, decentralized systems, right, that don't rely so much on platforms created in the West, so that hopefully the fruit of the labor of the Asian people can stay here in Asia, right, and help to further build up the economies here. So another thing we learned about is the importance of the social aspects of everything that we're doing. And I think that being AIT people, the social impact and social aspects of what we're doing is always high on our minds and should be high on our minds. So that's really fantastic. As a last word, I would like to mention that at AIT itself, so a lot of these things that we're talking about, like smart cities, smart health, smart infrastructure, and so on, we're working really hard to work on these topics at AIT. So I'd invite you to come and learn more about the AI Center at AIT that I'm a part of, right? So we mostly focus on the software side of things, but we basically take the artificial intelligence technologies and try to put them to work here to solve problems here in Asia. So I'm gonna just skip to the end, and we have a lot of different technologies and projects and so on. But just want to invite you, if you're interested to learn more, then please come to our website or email me. So I think that's all that I want to say, and stop sharing. And then if Dr. Dash, do you want to add anything to the summary for this session?
Yeah, I think that's fine. I just, in fact, Dr. Damayanti actually summarized our session quite well, but I would just, highlight a few points that were discussed during the session 3B, and specifically more focusing on Dr. Dang's presentation, which was providing a very clear vision. And some of the key points that he has highlighted was more specifically on having a all-inclusive process where we just don't consider one particular sector, but it is overall a national level transformation technology that we are talking about. And he mentioned about few of the sectors that is already in progress, and there was a vision to 2030 that is in process to bring Vietnam into the top 30 level of the index of using digital transformation, which is very good to see that countries are in the region are already thinking in that direction. And in that process, I think the second presenter was just succeeding that was about talking more about the education itself, how we can, what we are doing now and how we can improve on the existing technology and improve on the education sector. I think she mentioned about her university and how they are using currently this digital transformation. And I think there are a few things that mostly people are doing, especially bringing in more access to different level of people, different level of users, bringing it to remote areas, and what we can do. Of course, knowing that Indonesia, it's island country, and you have to really work hard to bring all of them together. So I think that is something that she highlighted, and it's great to see her university with her leadership is actually taking care of this transformation, especially on the education sector. The third speaker, of course, sorry, we were actually we had to push him to conclude, but there was actually really a lot of interesting areas where Professor Fernando is actually working on in terms of development of hardware-based technology and use of IoTs and in this process. So I think to sum up, I think again I would talk about the perspective that I bring in. We are working a lot in terms of using digital transformation and technologies in disaster management itself, which is one of the key areas of countries' development aspects. I think. And so in that process, going forward in the futuristic way, I think digital transformation, whether it's any sector or any field, is there to stay. Of course, I think the most critical question that came in at the last was its impact on the environment itself. I think one of the issues that we have heard in the recent years is use of 5G technologies itself. And I think these are areas that needs to be explored and discussed further. But I think in a nutshell, I think digital transformation is there. It would stay. I think we have been in an era where we would work on artificial intelligence, data analytics, cloud-based services, and try to improve our efficiency. And that is the whole approach here. So I think with that, I will conclude the summary of this particular session. It was a great learning experience for me to be part of this particular forum and learning from all the eminent professors, faculties from the region. I think this event itself is a great learning platform itself. So thank you so much for inviting me, in fact, to this. And yeah, with that, I will conclude my summary, and back to Professor Daly if you have anything to add. So.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dash and Professor Daly, for moderating these two sessions. And let us, of course, give our round of applause to our distinguished and excellent speakers, Dr. Hop, Professor Fernando, Dr. Lee, Dr. Dong, Professor Marjanti, and Professor Sohendra, and of course our panelists, Engineer Kodito Waku and Dr. Dayamanti. Please give them a big round of virtual applause. So before we finally close, can we request a photo op? I think our staff, support staff, could take this. Please have your cameras on. So a photo can be taken. This will only take a few minutes.
And your Sunday's best smile.
Alavi.
Yes, our team will take, and let's start. Okay, on the click of 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let me go to the second page. 1, 2, and 3. One, 2, and 3. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you for those lovely smiles. Can I now call on the chair of the this global AITAA symposium, Fernando, for his closing remarks. Xavi.
Thank you, Alvin, the conference secretary. Good morning to all those who are on the east of Vietnam. Am I heard? Am I heard? Am I heard?
Yes.
You heard? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Clear.
Sorry, I thought I was
Clear.
It's
As
clear.
the message came, please unmute yourself. Okay, never mind. Technical glitches do happen. Good morning to all those who are on the east of Vietnam, and good afternoon to all those who are west of Vietnam. The first AIT Alumni Association Global Symposium on Sustainable Technology Innovations with Social Impact in Agriculture, Food and Water, Energy, Environment and Climate Change, and Digital Transformation and Smart Cities is just about to be concluded. We have been working tirelessly to get the best possible resources, mainly from our AIT community. At the same time, we managed to connect up with the global leaders in their respective fields. We are happy that we had 3 keynote speakers on the first day, Professor Tuk, Professor Mohan Muni Singha, and Professor Nick Pias on the opening sessions. On yesterday morning. We managed to get 5 excellent moderators. You have just seen 2 of them. 15 speakers, 6 panelists, and guests from more than a dozen countries around the globe. And all of them are leading experts in their own fields. Today, I thank the 2 moderators in person, Professor Matthew Daly and Dr. Hitesh Das, for very ably managing the 2 parallel sessions with the challenges they had and the panel discussion. The expertise was very well seen in the manner they contributed during the discussions. I thank the 6 speakers who took great pain to prepare well. The presentations both meaningful and very interesting. The 2 panelists, you will agree, contributed with their opening remarks tremendously and during the panel discussion as well. I must place on record my deep appreciation to Praveen Mukhya, who persistently followed up with the speakers to run a seamless session. Alvin, the symposium secretary, and Professor Migar Lienege, who helped me throughout, with our selection panel, who helped me to select a very good collection of resource persons. I thank the Vietnam chapter chair, especially my good friend Quen, who stood up to all the demanding assignments I gave him. He provided a very informative web link and also a numerous number of banners for each occasion. The AIT extension staff led by Chris Granier and Dr. Pallavi, Dr. Nabil and their team for excellent logistics. We couldn't have asked for more. I thank Faye, our president, Asian Institute of Technology, Kun Chusak, and the incoming president, Kun Thavichai, who stood with me in all my efforts. They were from the EXCOM. They helped me throughout my efforts to get this enormously challenging exercise. There are a few others like Geth and Sripeni and few others, Susanto, and so many people who rallied around to help me. Just a WhatsApp message, everything turned out to be so productive. I'm certain it's an excellent opportunity to learn and exchange we exchange information. And I think it was Dr. Bailey who read out that particular message from one gentleman from Singapore who expected great hope about the potential we had uncovered through this symposium. During the session breaks, I was listening, and I also had a chat with Faye and Chris, the matriarch and patriarch. I wonder if this suits them for their grade, right? And I think we just unearthed a golden opportunity. Personally, I was always of the view that 25,000 plus AIT alumni community, with them, what can't we do? I'm hopeful we all put our shoulder together. The transformation of Asia to be the most wealthy continent or the most affluent continent is not an impossibility. And I must say a very, very big thank you to a very young man, just 25 years old. He's just new to the job, maybe 3 months. He's young and very energetic. Our recently enlisted program officer of the Asian Institute of Technology Alumni Association office in Bangkok. He is Win Min Thian. I was a pain to him at times, but he did a wonderful job. I must thank each and everyone who attended all the sessions. I'm sure there would have been about 300 people around the globe joining physically, and there will be thousands of people who would have been watching through our links all these events. And all these events are going to be available through a portal, perhaps to be hosted by AIT Vietnam, AIT Extension. And we shall inform everyone who had anything to do with this symposium where they can find all this information. So it's a very personal note from me, and I'm sure my family will be happy that I'll be having less late night sessions on my computer, running behind so many people, writing to so many people. I am a 100% satisfied man. I think if you can see the screen on my left-hand side is Win. He needs a big round of applause. Big round of applause. Please, let's all unmute and give a big round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you.
He deserves it. And to you, everyone here today, goodbye from me. And there are a few more sessions to be done for the alumni. And please be in touch with us from wherever you are, whatever you want to do. Let's get together and do our best to wherever we are around the globe. We need your expertise.
Congratulations, Xavi and your team. We are so proud of you. Thank you.
Okay, on that note, we officially close our first global AITAA symposium and exhibition. But of course, the exhibition continues until the end of 365 days, no? At the start of its exhibition. So we still have a year to go. But in the end, we wish everyone safe and healthy and happy always in this pandemic. We look forward to more engagements in the AITAA as we welcome, of course, a new leadership. I think he's here. Dr. Tawichai over here. I'm sure we have already engaged more of our alumni, and we look forward to a more productive engagement in the near future. Again, once again, thank you so much. Congratulations, everyone. Well done. Keep safe and healthy. Bye for now.
Thank you. Yeah, congratulations, everybody. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you.
See you next
Bye,
year
everyone.
with a good